Mad Wolf here, along with Arctic Vixen, who's still making less doilies with the Maui Cowie sitting on her lap. Doesn't look too happy. So, and you might be wondering what I'm doing. Well, I'm not playing a game. I'm actually watching Fine Sauce Joel, playing Autolus the Dark Call. Never heard of this game. Seems awesome. Seems like an 8-bit Dark Souls, kind of. While eating some birthday cheesecake from like a week ago, and drinking some linen Lugels. Can't tell if that's an L. I think it's an L. It's basically lemon beer. I really like it. I like lemons. Lemons are my thing. Lemons and onions. I like onions too. Um, that was kind of a rant thing. Just to show that I am still working on stuff. Today's on my off day, so I'm still rocking the jammies. Even though it's like 2 in the afternoon. I looked at the clock. I wasn't too far off. Anyway, just watched MadeleineInk on her stream at Twitch. That was actually the first Twitch stream we've ever watched, and it's partially thanks to this phone that I'm recording this video on. This phone service is great. Praise be to Verizon. I did not think I'd ever say that. I used to really love AT&T, and AT&T is not bad, but I just got so fed up with Usenet. Download speeds are not that great. They wanted, we could switch you over to Gen 5. No. You're just expensive. Things are a little bit fuzzy. I got a chill mat going on underneath my laptop and this thing. So anyway, this is going to be a rant. Basically, what I'm still working on Sniper Wolf painting. You could kind of see a little thumbnail there. I don't feel like showing off the full thing or what's done of it so far. Not yet. It's coming. It's like Duke Nukem Forever. It's coming when it's done. Be grateful. But yeah, I really haven't been feeling like painting this lately, which is terrible. I'm trying to do this for a friend, and been getting inspired for some things. Watching some MadeleineInk stuff, some of the stuff going on DeviantArt and Patreon. Arctic played Bloodborne the other day, so that was part of the inspiration for that. I'm like, wow, I want to do a Bloodborne piece of artwork. There's actually a small list that I try to keep written out for ideas, things to do in between my shifts. You guys may or may not know I had been fired from my second jobs day before my birthday. Really bad week last week. This week's not doing so much better. It's a little bit better. I got some news that I might be starting a second job, but gotta wait on background checks, emails, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So I have about 4 days off work. Arctic has 2, and she's got to go to the dentist tomorrow.
Yeah. At least I'll be getting these temps out and getting my bridge in, so I'm gonna be happy about that because that'll be over with.
Yeah. So what that unfortunately means is tomorrow she's gonna have, I don't know. Hopefully it won't be too long, but
Last other times I've gone in there for my other bridges, they didn't really take that long. I mean, worst came to worst, took like about 5, maybe 10 minutes.
well, getting the temporary bridges in took a couple hours, but it's besides the point. We're getting it taken care of, and that's the important thing. But there's just been so much on my mind. There's been so much on her mind. We really haven't been feeling like doing stuff. Tonight I might get a little bit drunk, maybe a little bit drunk. And I might want to shoot shit in like Rise of the Triad. I've been meaning to do a StarCraft game between her and I. Doesn't look like StarCraft 2 Arctic and I can play 2 players on because you need like 2 accounts or something like that. And she bought it for my birthday. I love StarCraft 2. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, you need to buy the game again so we can play 2-player, because she's not really comfortable with the game. And not like graphic-wise or anything like that, but she's just not confident in her abilities. And I've tried to be like, no, play single player, do this. And so, anyway. So we haven't been really doing that. I got Killer Instinct working on this new laptop. Still really am loving this laptop, even though it's Windows 10. And holy crap, was I wrong about Windows 10. So I don't know what the hell was the problem with Windows 10 on that computer. But pretty much nothing worked. Quake 3 wouldn't work. Knights of the Old Republic wouldn't work. Pretty much nothing worked. And it locked up half the damn time whenever I had to reload or restart the computer. So I hated Windows 10, and maybe it's because this computer has like an NVIDIA card, and it's purposely designed for Windows 10. It still doesn't play some stuff from Windows 98, and that's a little bit disappointing. But what can you do? So anyway, I am working on stuff. Have ideas for games. Another thing that I am kind of ranting about and considering is I've been kind of wondering about maybe going back to some game design or trying to learn Adventure Game Studio or something. Because I kind of miss the process of it, but at the same time, I just don't think the payoff is really releasing the game, and the reactions, and it's really not worth the process. And there's things about the process I like. It keeps my mind busy, it keeps my mind occupied, so I don't focus on stuff, namely crappy stuff in life. But at the same time, I'm just like, it's one of those things I've been considering about doing. I've been considering publicly re-releasing Crucible with version 1.2. I released version 1.2 to some friends, and that was months ago. I've been considering, maybe I should upload it to ModDB or something, just quit being a douchebag. But at the same time, I'm like, no one's really stopped being a douchebag towards me, and I was the one who made the game. So I don't know. There's a lot that's it's been on my mind. Bills are on my mind. Stuff like that. So anyway, I just figured to rant a bit, showing what's going on. I don't think MadeleineInk watches these videos, but yeah, I told her on the stream, oh yeah, Arctic's watching too, because the computer is hooked up to a 32-inch TV, and her words were she was honored, and I don't mean to belittle her feelings or anything, but yeah, it's just our setup, because, we have the TV there, and the desktop computer there, and our game system's there, so it makes sense. Obviously, even if we were watching her stream on this laptop, Arctic and I would both watch it. We both are, Madeleine's really helped me out, picking up some things with Photoshop, and I'm not saying I'm a fast learner. I'm a learn by doer. I learn what I think looks good, and I just stick with it. Arctic, she likes Madeleine's artwork, and this sounds really terrible because I really like the picture. The character is pretty smexy, but I don't even know if that sounded right. Smexy. But anyway, it's it's from Warcraft, and she's basically this undead babe who's like the ruler of the undead peoples, and it's like
Lady Sylvanas.
Yeah, see, I'm really terrible with those fantasy names. I do feel kind of like Fine Sauce Joel. We're gonna play the Kringle Crest 4 with the caves of Rusinov and the tomb of Rodo, and sometimes I just feel with all those names, it's like I can't remember.
I only know because I admit I am a Warcraft nerd.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I'm a StarCraft nerd, but it's like, how can I remember Sarah's name? Because her name's Sarah, If you have names like, and the only reason I know, like, the Lord of the Rings names, some of them is because so many people go off about it. Like, everyone around here likes Legolas. A lot of people around here thought Orlando Bloom was hot, and frankly, if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't give a shit who Orlando Bloom was. Um, Gandalf, everyone loves Gandalf. Sauron and Solomon, Sauron and it's like Solomon, but it's like Solomon. Solomon. It's like the Pokemon version of Solomon. Who's that Pokemon? It's Solomon. But the only reason I know that is because there's people around here that go off about Lord of the Rings. Not so much about The Hobbit, which is why I don't know so much about The Hobbit. Another one is the other hobbits that were in Lord of the Rings. It's just they're kind of obscure fantasy names. I'm just like, okay, it's the stupid one.
Sam's not.
No, Sam, I know, but his character is kind of, I mean, and that's sad because he's the brave one in those movies. Frodo is the whiny bitch that it's like, go away, Sam, go away.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh because we watched Nostalgia Critic and he was doing old versus new Lord of the Rings, and I was.
The old version of Sam was great.
And even I had to be like, you know what? The old Frodo is actually better than the new Frodo. Because the old Frodo was, like, pretty brave. Not afraid or anything. But the new Frodo, I'm sorry, acted like he was afraid of everything.
Honestly, I just think there could have been more fantasy. I realize that's how the books were written. But it's just... Skyrim's the same way, too. I love Skyrim. I love the hell out of Skyrim, and I come up with some of those names myself. Elia Vaught, Justin Wolt. But, if you think of that book I'm trying to write, the book I've been trying to write for years, you have... I don't want to give away my name, but there's a dark elf in there who has a name play on my real name. He has a daughter named Elia, which... Elia's not a very common name. Elia, Elijah. But, even some of those names, I'm like, God, I cannot remember them. Skyrim, I cannot remember the name of the guy that helped you escape. The Imperial guy?
Yeah.
We're escaping! And then you go to Riverwood, and you meet his family, and it's like... I don't know your name, dude. I'm sorry. Sven, I know. The reason I know Sven is because I think of Ren and Stimpy. Ja, vi är lovely. You are Sven. Turn around, you sick little monkey.
The only reason I remember Serana's name is because she keeps following me everywhere I go, no matter how many times I tell her to stay.
Yeah, she pesters Arctic Vixen, who, I don't know, Serana might look at Arctic Vixen as like her lesbian lover. Do not draw hentai of that.
Yeah, I can totally see a vampire chick wanting to get it down with the female Khajiit.
Maybe she's a furry. Maybe she loves furries.
Maybe, I don't know.
Do not draw hentai.
I wouldn't know unless I actually create a different character that's not a Khajiit.
I'm pretty sure there's mods already out there. Changing the subject. But yeah, just, the fantasy characters, I can't really remember, their names, and it's like, that's sad. I can't remember people's names in Fallout 4 just because, I'm sorry, I just don't care. Zelda's the same way. Arctic can go about, oh, well, it's and I watch people play it. Oh, yeah, well, you got the No, they're freaking ghosts, dude.
They are. I still cannot understand why.
I don't care. I don't care what the instruction manual is. You look at it on the screen, it's like, no, it's a ghost. It's a skeleton. Why would this skeleton be called something else? It's a skeleton. Come on.
It is, and yet they call them Stalfos.
Yeah, Arctic just proved my point about how she remembers stuff and I don't, and For me, it's like, I don't care. It's a skeleton. I am going. You know what I'm going to call it? I'm going to call it debris. Why? Because I'm going to smash it into debris. That is the Skyrim Nord way.
I mean, heck, Angry Video Game Nerd has gone off about how ridiculous the names of these monsters in Zelda are.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, I can't remember the dead babe's name in Warcraft. The movie, I'm trying to remember because I liked the movie. That's the sad thing. I liked the movie. I really liked the actors in the movie. I know the orcs. The hybrid's name basically means cursed.
Garona.
I could not tell you that. I cannot remember the king's name. I cannot remember the guy from Vikings show, his name. I can't remember his son's name. I can remember the Guardian. Guardian!
Medivh.
No, I remember that title, Guardian.
I know.
The Golem. I remember the Golem. I remember the Griffin. I remember the orcs. I remember the portal. I remember the sheep. I remember him turning into sheep. I remember the giant wolves, which they don't call them wargs.
Yeah, I don't get that.
But it's fine. I mean, well, it's essentially a giant wolf, so they really don't need to say it. But I can't remember all those names, and so I mean, it's awesome artwork. I forgot where I was. That was my rant. Is I cannot remember fantasy stuff. I guess I have the memory of something with bad memory, which is sad because I do have good memory. Just stuff. There's a lot of stuff I don't care about. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the gist of this rant. Got some stuff going on. Got some ideas in my head. Got some things that I'm kind of thinking about doing. Not 100% sure if I should do it. Kind of interested to know what people think, but at the same time, people are kind of douchebags, so I don't really want to give them something. So it's one of those things. It's like, okay, guys, you made me feel like crap making this stuff for you guys for the last, I don't know, 5 years. 5 out of 13. So, plus, when I gave the option about Patreon, no one even bothered looking into it. No one bothered, well, how about we do this? How about no one brought anything to the table. It's just, oh, no, we don't want to talk about it. So, at that time, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to make anything for you, obviously. My mods and stuff aren't really worth it. So, I do believe in doing what I enjoy, but at the same time, I do feel the game design process is games are meant to be played and bring entertainment. And if it's just made for the designer, then it's kind of like the designers just really doesn't matter. There really doesn't even need to be any rhyme or reason, so long as the designer is all like, "Oh yeah, look at what I can do," to himself. So it's not a very big process that I agree with. I agree with if you're going to make games, it's meant it's you should do your vision. You should do, but you gotta portray it in a way where other people can read it or something. I don't know the right terminology for that. Like fan art. You can't be like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna draw Chun-Li, but I don't really like her dress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change Chun-Li's hairstyle. I'm going to change Chun-Li's dress. She's going to be wearing a more English Victorian dress. It's going to be Chun-Li in Bloodborne. It's just, you're going to have viewers be like, why the hell do you have Chun-Li in Bloodborne? Why the hell is Chun-Li hanging out with the Bloodborne doll? Do not draw hentai. Anyway, guys, yeah, so this rant's gone on for way too long. Point of this rant, terrible with remembering fancy names, and, yeah. Have a good one.